Hi everyone, welcome to our MCO Livestream Volume 8. And today we'd like to share about the goodness of Korg Digital Pianos. So we have the whole series here today. We're going to share each model and the benefits of each, the great sounds of each model, and the special features of each model, so that you have a clearer understanding of the Korg's range of digital pianos. And first of all, I'd like to start off with the history of digital piano. How did actually digital pianos come about, right? As everybody knows, acoustic piano has been, has been around for centuries, and everyone is already accustomed to a real acoustic piano. So why does digital piano exist, right? Okay, first and foremost, as we all know, acoustic piano is, the sound is generated by someone hitting the keys, which will make the hammer the strings of the piano. So physical action, right? And when the hammer hammers the strings, it will produce sound. But then acoustic piano has a lot of things that will influence the sound. For example, the length of the strings, and besides the length of the strings, the hammer also plays a very important role, and how hard the person hits the keys, how soft, and when the sustain pedal is being held down, that means the damper of the piano will be lifted up so that the strings will continue to ring, and resonate to produce the sound, right? So, in other words, to actually simulate that is pretty much rocket science, because it's very hard to simulate the acoustic properties of a real acoustic piano. So that's why we are going back to the history of digital pianos. When it was first started out, digital pianos were, it was not called digital pianos, it was just called electric pianos, right? So there were many ways of generating that electric piano sound. But then we have Fender Rhodes, and I suppose many people have heard of Fender Rhodes. It has sound something like this. Now, that is an electric piano sound. Yeah, as much as they want it to, it's a different kind of sound. It's not an acoustic piano. So it has a place in pop music. Electric piano is very well known in pop music back in the 70s, even the 80s, and later on they have the digital synthesized digital piano, which sounds like this. I'm sure you heard of this. Yeah, that is a FM synthesized. It uses the FM synthesis to actually simulate electric piano sounds, to recreate electric piano sounds. See how interesting is that? It evolved from, actually when it first started, it was actually using analog synthesis. But trust me, you wouldn't like that analog synthesized simulation or emulation of a piano. It just doesn't carry that sound, right? Until digital synthesis came along. So they synthesize it and makes beautiful sounds like, yeah. So these are very beautiful sounds that you hear a lot in your favorite pop songs, from 80s especially. Yeah. So um, it the journey from the emulation of of an acoustic piano was not really successful until the day of digital sampling technology. That is when the real piano sound really comes out in a digital piano. So due to the advanced technology and the drop of price for memory chips and all that, you can actually store real sounds from acoustic pianos. That means it is painstakingly recorded from the real grand piano, 9-footer grand, and every single note is hit, recorded, at different strength, at different levels of velocity, and recorded into digital audio files, and then put into the memory chips of the digital piano. And that's when you really get the real sound quality as close as possible to the real digital, as real as possible to the acoustic piano. So today, the technology has advanced so much. We're able to store all that into little chips, right? Initially, we don't have that technology yet. All the samples are very short, so it was stored, but in very very short fashion, because the memory wasn't enough to to really absorb, to take that large files for every single note, right? So today the technology allows even more samples. That's why as technology moves on, we hear more realistic samples from a digital piano, because what you're hearing are actual digitally recorded sounds in a studio or in a hall using a real 9-footer grand, right? So I'm going to start with this piano by Korg called the G1 Air. A lot of people ask me, why the Air? Okay, so to explain that, the Air stands for wireless connectivity. So G1 is the model, and the Air is signifies the wireless connectivity, which is actually the Bluetooth connectivity. So many people also ask, why should we need a Bluetooth for a piano? Well, very simple. I will be showing you later why it's so much fun to have Bluetooth technology incorporated into your digital piano. I will go through with you shortly, yeah? And I would like to also inform you that not only are the samples very realistic. Now, as all pianists know, when we play a piano, the response to your fingers, the touch of the keys, the response of the keys are very, very important. So that's why Korg has developed a very special real hammer action keys touch, right? And this 88 key piano are just like the grand piano, which is actually graded touch. That means heavy from the bottom, and as you move up, it becomes lighter and lighter and lighter, because as you move up, that's where all your fast lines are being played, especially classical music. You have like super speed lightning fast lines, so you need that kind of speed. So if the keys are heavy, you won't be able to achieve that kind of speed. So bottom end, at the bottom, the bass section, you don't need to move as much. So they make it heavier. Well, this technology actually is from the real grand piano, just like the real grand piano. All grand pianos have the graded touch, right? So it's heavy on the left because on the bass section, so that you don't overly play loud chords on your left hand. So it won't drown out all your melodies on your right hand. So I think that's a very logical way of, making a piano. Yeah. So that the sound will balance up the left and the right. Okay. So I just want to demonstrate to you how realistic the sounds of G1 Air, how realistically sounding are the acoustic pianos of the G1 Air. And G1 Air has 3 world-renowned pianos. That means the sounds are sampled from 3 world-class concert pianos, 9-footer grand pianos, right? The first one is the German Grand. The German Grand, well, I'm sure everybody knows, every pianist knows about the brand called Steinway. Just so you know, this sound comes from a Steinway 9-footer grand piano called the Model D, which is well known among the concert pianists and inside in studios as well. So let's hear the resonating sound of the bass. Right? Can you hear the string resonating? It is not static. It is resonating, just like the real grand piano. All right, I'll do a short demo, just to let you hear the dynamics. That means the loud and also the soft, right? I will now play very softly, so to let you hear the dynamics of the soft part. I'll go a little bit louder. Gradually from soft to loud. Now, can you hear the hammer hitting the string? Now I was playing from the very bottom end, the lowest to the highest string note, to let you hear how realistic, how close it is to the real acoustic piano. Right, and this one is the German Grand, like I said, Steinway Model D, which costs about I think it's 1 million over ringgit, right? Yes, that's a lot of money. Well, even if you have the money, but not everyone has the space at home to put a 9-footer grand. Very few people have that luxury, right? Even if you have the 1 million plus, yeah? So, okay, what Korg is trying to do is to bring that big sound, that beautiful sound of the 9-footer Steinway grand piano into a very compact size, which fits anywhere, feels at home right in your apartment, even. And that sound comes from a 9-footer grand. Now, how great is that? Okay, next I will go to the Austrian Grand. And Austrian Grand, is the samples comes from the Bossendorfer piano. Those who, especially a lot of classical pianists, will know the Bossendorfer piano. It is known for their bottom end, which is not as punchy as the Steinway Grand, the German Grand, but it is deeper and more defined, and like this. Well, if you're in the mood for some scary music. Well, yeah, nice for very dark music. If you're in the mood for really, really dark kind of sound, I would suggest go straight to the Austrian Grand, right? And sometimes for classical pieces as well, like one of the most popular classical piece. Yeah, so you can use that for classical, even for lively pieces actually. Yeah, and for your exam pieces, if you're a piano student, perfect for your exam pieces. And next we move on to the Japanese piano, yeah, which is also well renowned, and it's got a very nice mid-forward sound. So perfect for, well, you can of course use it for classical music too, but I love that sound especially for, very, very old standard tunes like yeah, I love it for, this kind of standard tunes, yeah, because the mid is so nice, so sweet on this Japanese grand. Okay, so these are the most, these three pianos are basically acoustic piano sounds, right? But besides the acoustic piano sounds, the grand piano sounds, Korg also incorporate many other sounds inside, which I will go through shortly. Now, a few words about these three world-class grand piano: German, Austrian, and Japanese, right? Each of them is 1 million plus to almost 1 million. So you can safely say that three of these world-class grand piano, 9-footer grand piano sounds, costs about 3 million over ringgit. Well, that's a lot of money. So, well, but you don't have to pay so much for the G1 Air, of course. The G1 Air comes at only 6,500 ringgit. And it includes these 3 fantastic world-class grand piano acoustic sounds. And besides that, I will go through some other more interesting modern sounds, right? And for those who like pop music, rock music, and so forth, right? And yeah, and it comes with also with Bluetooth connectivity, which I will also go through shortly. And all right, let's go through this sound. I like this sound because it gives the flavor of rock piano. Yeah, that's more 80s rock, right? Now, sometimes I like to layer the sounds, right? This modern electric piano layered with a, say, Steinway Grand, that will give you a whole different color. And let's see how that sounds, right? Let's see if you can guess what this sound, what this song is, the name of this song. Yeah, I still remember when I was much younger. I used to play this song, and it's from the group called Journey, and it's a very popular song. Even I think Glee, one episode of Glee, they actually played and sang this song. Yeah, and I'm sure you also heard this song, right? Yeah, that's from Journey too. Yeah, you can tell I'm a big fan of Journey. I actually went and watched their concert, the last concert. The ticket was given by my very good friend, and he gave me the ticket, and I went there and watched the band. I was blown away, even though the sound on that day wasn't too happening, but the band was fantastic. Yeah. Okay, next we move to what you just heard is actually a combination of the electric piano and the acoustic piano, the Steinway Grand, right? And let's move on. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of David Foster. Yes, he's very popular in the 80s, even until now. He's like they call him the hitman. The good hitman, not the hitman. So the hitman, because he wrote a lot of big hits from those days until today. Everything he touched turns gold. Every artist he works with becomes very famous. One of them is Celine Dion, I'm sure you know. So he has a beautiful sound which he likes to use. It's actually a combination of FM synthesis piano, digital electric piano sound, combined with an acoustic piano sound. So this is pretty close to his David Foster's piano sound. I'm sure some of you might have heard this song. Yeah, so as you can hear, now you can hear like a bell sound together with a acoustic piano sound. Okay, I'll just demonstrate the. right? That is the FM synthesis of FM piano. We call it FM electric piano. And I combine it with both combined together will give you this sound. So there you go. This is one of my favorite. Well, David Foster is also one of my favorite pianists. So I love this sound a lot. I try to imagine him playing this piano, and I love his songs. So I used to play a lot of his songs, and I use this sound to emulate David Foster's piano sound, right? And next we go to some of the very realistic sounds as well. You also have harpsichord. Yeah, that's very Baroque period, right? Those who are studying classical music will understand. Baroque period are like during the days of Bach, John Sebastian Bach, who is a fantastic, they call him a genius, right? The genius of those days, yeah? And those days there is no piano yet, So actually piano comes from harpsichord. It started with harpsichords, yeah? And it has a much thinner sound, right? Right, very, very thin, yeah. And so people, back in the days decided that, well, that's not loud enough, the sound is not big enough to fill up the whole hall, when many people are watching, And that's how harpsichord evolved into piano, the acoustic piano. And there haven't been much changes until today. So but ever since that, digital technology has enabled many companies to produce their digital pianos, so that's why today you have digital pianos. And I like to also discuss about the benefits and the advantages of digital pianos over acoustic pianos. As many of you know, that acoustic pianos needs a lot of maintenance, right? Yeah. So maintenance never comes free. So when you buy a piano, get ready to spend, when you buy an acoustic piano, get ready to spend about 500 ringgit a year just to tune your piano, just to keep your piano in tune, like tune it twice a year, and that is assuming it's quite a new piano, As it ages, you have to tune more often, and that means spend more money, right? So, okay, so for digital piano, lifetime without tuning, it stays perfectly in tune all the time, the whole time, right? So there is no tuning cost involved. And as you know, acoustic piano, if especially our Southeast Asia weather, our climate is very humid, and it is not good for acoustic piano. You have to keep an acoustic piano dry all the time. You have to keep the humidity out of the acoustic piano, not with the digital piano, right? So then again, you have to switch on your warmer 364 days a year. That means additional cost of electricity that you have to pay to switch the warmer on 24 hours a day. Well, that is one of the reasons why more people are moving towards digital pianos now, because of the zero maintenance cost. I mean, I won't say no maintenance at all. The only maintenance you need, probably, you need something like the Music Nomad, the piano one. Yeah, if you have a glossy finish piano, like an acoustic piano, and whatever piano that has a glossy finish, this is the one for you, to keep it polished and pristine, mint condition all the time. So this the piano one is very good for that. So the cost is only 40 ringgit, and you can use it for many times. It will last you quite a long time. Yeah, and it's only 40 ringgit, so it's worth it for something that you're paying maybe 15,000. And if you have a Recon one, you'll be paying 8,000 to 9,000. So 40 ringgit to maintain that is really nothing, right? So next will be the key one, right? So you have your children, they eat and then they don't wash their hands and they come banging on the piano. Everything is oily, and you just need to clean it up. So with the Music Nomad Key 1, it is a key polish which you can apply on any pianos, digital pianos, acoustic pianos, or even keyboards. Yeah, you can use this, and it is amazing. And the cost is only 36 ringgit per bottle, right? And of course, you need something to, not just any other cloth, but you need a microfiber dusting and polishing cloth. And we have the Music Nomad brand do have the microfiber dusting and polishing cloth, which only costs 28 ringgit. And you can use this for a long time too. So if you need one of those, don't forget to come here and we'll show you how to do it, right? Okay. All right. I'd like to move on to a little bit more funky sounds, right? Like yeah, that's that's a clavinet. Yeah. I'm sure you know Stevie Wonder, his favorite instrument. Yeah, that's the clavinet. If you like funky music, you're gonna love the clavinet. Okay, and besides that, you also get the Hammond organ sounds. So yeah, the old yeah, the old-fashioned Hammond sound, which is beautiful. Back in the days, you hear the Hammond sound in rock songs, in jazz, in blues, in many genres of music. It has been widely used, and until today, actually, people are still using the traditional. That kind of groovy sounds. Yeah. And if somebody is going to get married, you can also use this piano and play the pipe organ. Yeah, it has that pipe organ sound. Yeah. And these sounds are also sampled from the real instruments, so that's why it sounds so realistic, yeah. And it has vibraphone. Yeah, very nice vibraphone sound. Yeah, very realistic sounding because it is also sampled from the real vibes, vibraphone. And next, wait, before I move on to the next sound, I suddenly remember when I was small, I used to watch B. Ramlee movies, right? And I still remember many of his movies use this sound. Cobaan. Right, Azam, what's that movie? I can't remember. Labu Labi, yes. So, back in the days, they have to use the real vibes to produce. Today, so easy, you can just use it on your G1 Air. And next, I like this sound. It's the human choir. Sounds like the human choir. Now, what I like is that I can add a piano. So what I did was layer two sounds together, the choir and the Steinway Grand. Well, I choose the Steinway Grand because that's my favorite grand piano sound. And next, we move on to nylon string guitar. And I'm gonna try something like, if you watch Deer Hunter, I'm sure you've heard of this tune before. I can't remember the name of the song, but it's from this very famous movie, very sad movie called Deer Hunter. Yeah, that's part of the song. One of my favorite songs too, because it makes me cry. And next, chamber strings, right? Like a small ensemble strings, not a grand orchestra, more like a small ensemble. So pretty realistic as well. Yeah, and if you want a more bigger ensemble, so that's a bigger ensemble sound, right? And next we'll, besides that, the G1 Air enables you to actually split the keyboard, the piano into half. The left is the bass guitar, and the right you can choose piano or electric piano and so forth. I'm going to show you that you can actually split this up, and I can even choose the note I want to split. So in this case, I'm going to split it at, I just hold down the key and hit the note where I want to split. So you hearing the bass with, I think it's a right cymbal, right? So you can do songs like, Bassist, pianist. Bassist is not gonna like you if you're gonna show that to them. Okay. And okay, next I would like to go into the Bluetooth mode, right? Okay, very easy. Just on your smartphone, your tablet, just switch on the Bluetooth and select G1 Air. And once connected, you can play with, if you have Spotify, you can switch on Spotify. And for example, piano students, fear not. So if you want to, sometimes, you get very strange exam pieces. Some and most exam pieces you hardly ever heard before. So you have no idea how it sounds like, and you are at the mercy of the teacher that teaches you that piece, right? But not anymore. Today you can just go to Spotify and find that exam piece, listen back, play along with that, and to help you to interpret the songs in a manner as close to the original written piece, right? And for those who want to use this as an enjoyment, to play with your favorite artist, this is another way of enjoying this piano. For some reason I cannot play this song more than 8 bars because it's an infringement of copyright. So I'll keep it very short within 8 bars. But you get the idea. You can actually jam with. This is a very popular tune. Take a wild guess. Let's see if you know who this is. Oops. Okay. Well, you know what song that is, so you can actually play with your favorite artist. Can be disco or any other of your favorite bands, right? And besides that, I want to show you a very interesting app called iReal Pro. Yeah, iReal Pro is it's available on Google Play Store, or you can also get it from Apple App Store. Okay, so it's a very useful app, not just for enjoyment, but you can use it for your own self-practice. If you like to play standard songs, you want to play along with a band, there you go. Go purchase the iReal Pro. It's only about 50 over ringgit, and one-time payment. You can download like 2,000 over songs, and you can search for the song. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play, I suppose most of you have heard the song Autumn Leaves. So there you go. I just type in Autumn Leaves and I get all the chords there. And all I need to do is I can just refer to the chords and play a solo piano piece like if you want to play with a band, just hit the play button. Or you want to improvise. There you go. As simple as that. And if you're in the mood to sing, you have friends coming to your house and you want to jam with them. Okay, I'm not a singer, but I will try my best to demonstrate, that you can sing along. Bear with me, please. So I'm gonna look for Imagine. Okay, I'm sure everybody has heard of this song, Imagine. So I'm gonna attempt to play and sing. Very easy. Follow the chords. Imagine all the people. It's easy if you try. You get the idea, right? So when your friends come to your house, you know what to do. You can jam with them, and it's a lot of fun, for practice, for jamming. It's amazing. And this piano comes with a built-in recorder. Of course, the piano can't record your voice, but it can record your performance, and it can record up to 2 tracks per song, right? So that means you can record your piano, then you can add your strings or your bass or whatever, and you can store it inside here. And there is also a USB connectivity. So if you want to retrieve the song, you can connect it to your laptop, to your computer, and retrieve that MIDI file from the piano, and that's your song. Okay, so, well, this is so much I have to share about the G1 Air, and as you all have witnessed, that this is really an amazing sounding piano with amazing touch, amazing feel, and real hammer action keys, and you can even hear that hammering the strings. So oh yeah, I forgot. This piano sounds great also not because of just the samples alone. It's a combination of samples, the touch, the real hammer action key action touch, the graded touch, and it has a sympathetic resonance just like a real piano, and that's amazing. And the key of touch as well. You can't hear that really clearly, but it also have that key off as you lift your fingers from the piano, the real acoustic piano. There's a small little sound there that makes it sound realistic, and that is also here on the G1 Air. And besides that, the way G1 Air emulates the piano, the grand piano sound, is by having 2 top firing speakers at the top. It's just like when you have a grand piano, you have the lead open, right? So when you have the lead open, the resonating string sound will actually also come from the top. That's where you can hear your top end, the bright, detailed, shimmering tones of the high notes, So these 2 front up firing speakers actually produce that tone, right? And at the bottom below the keys, there's another 2 speakers. The other 2 speakers is to make the sound of from the acoustic piano soundboard. When the string vibrate, it hits the wood of the bottom part of the piano. It will also resonate, and therefore the sound will also come from the bottom part of the 9-footer grand piano. So you also have that here, right? So that is the reason why this piano is so realistic. This digital piano sounds so close to the real thing. And of course, at 6,500 ringgit for this digital piano, fully imported, manufactured in Japan. I don't think there's any other brand that has this quality at this price point. So please do come over, and we will be able to, to show you this piano and let you experience, and come and experience it yourself and play it and feel the sound of the G1 Air. Okay, so much for G1 Air. I'm going to move over to the smaller brother of G1 Air. It's called C1 Air. Okay, all right. So here you go. The C1 Air. Okay, a lot of people ask, how much difference is there from G1 Air to C1 Air? Okay, and what's the price point? And why C1 Air? Okay, so, well, C1 Air has some of the, two of the concert grand, 9-footer concert grand from G1 Air, which is the German grand and the Japanese grand, but it does not have the Austrian grand. And neither does C1 Air have 4, the up firing speakers. There's only 2 speakers, right? So, of course, at a lower price, you won't be getting all the extras, but still, that the 2 concert grands, the German and the Japanese grand, alone is worth the price of this piano. As you can hear for yourself, I'm also gonna play something here. There you go. It is very, very realistic as well. Like I said, the German grand is here, and the Japanese grand is also here. And of course, the other sounds are also a little bit different from G1 Air. For example, the vibes are not the same. All right, and but it, even some of the electric pianos are not the same too. So, of course, you don't get the same level as what you get in G1 Air, but still, it is no slouch. It's a fantastic digital piano as well. So you have like the traditional Fender Rhodes. So, back in the days, you will have like yeah, that kind of electric piano. Yeah. 70s era kind of Fender Rhodes sound, and of course you also get that FM synthesis sound as well. Yeah, and of course you can also layer just like G1 Air. Yeah, you still get to layer and get your David Foster sound, right? And besides that, you can also do your recording as well. You have two-part two for every song you can record two parts. That means your piano and another instrument, right? And this also has the graded touch like the G1 Air, and has the sympathetic resonance grand piano sounds. And oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, G1 Air, C1 Air, and another one called the LP380. I will get to that later. They can also do half pedaling, just like a real grand piano. Half pedal is like a shorter decay. Full sustain will be, like that means it will sustain indefinitely. But when you have a half sustain, see, it decays faster. So there you go. It has that same functionality like damper pedal functionality like the real grand piano. Okay, and this one does Bluetooth as well. So there you go. The same thing like when what I did on the G1 Air. You can also do the Bluetooth stuff on the C1 Air. Okay, so this is the smaller brother. So for those who feel that they're not ready to spend 6,500 on a digital piano, for people who just start up playing the piano, they might want to go for the C1 Air instead. And C1 Air is currently going at only ringgit 5,185, which is absolutely worth it based on just the two concert grand sounds that you get here, right? And this is also fully imported from Japan, fully manufactured in Japan. At this price point, it's truly a bargain. Okay, from this piano, I'm going to move over to a more entry-level piano, which is called the B2SP. Just a minute. Just let me move over to the B2SP. Okay, so here we go. The B2SP. B2SP also has some very interesting features, even though it is actually entry level. So for those piano students who just started up, taking up piano lessons, or even if you're a hobbyist who are not taking piano lessons, you like to dabble into the piano world and to tinker some keys at home during weekends, this is your favorite. This is your perfect choice. So it has a very nice piano tones, which of course is not the same samples from the G1 Air or the C1 Air. And this piano actually comes with a very interesting app. It's called the Skoove. The Skoove, Skoove, right? This app actually teaches you how to play piano, how to read the piano notes. The notes, they call the tauge lah, So it teaches you from the very basic step to intermediate to advanced level. So this is a very, very useful app, especially if you're a piano student. This will actually help you to, practice and learn how to read, And they have exercises for you to try, and they'll have the metronome like this, and you try to play along. Yeah. There you go. So you play along with what is being played here. And besides that, it also comes with another app called the Korg module. Yeah, Korg module is like, the advantage of this piano is that it has USB connectivity, so you can connect your tablet. Of course, with an iPad, you need a lightning to camera connection kit, CCK, yeah. But be warned that don't get those third-party ones. Please get the original Apple. If you're using an iPad Pro, iPad Pro will be USB-C. For this iPad, we are using the Lightning connector, so you have to use the Lightning to CCK kit, which you can of course get from the Apple Store, right? And when you connect to this, you can download the Scoof app for learning piano, and you can also download the module, the Korg module app. Now, it is a very interesting app. By itself, this piano, you can't layer any sounds like the G1 Air or the C1 Air. You're not able to layer sounds. You only get one sound at a time. Say, for example, okay, without this app. Say, for example, if you just want to play piano, it's just piano. So it has a beautiful piano as well, as you can hear. Now, it's a grand piano sample, but of course the quality of the samples cannot compare with the C1 Air or the G1 Air, but it's no slouch either. And of course it has other sounds as well, but you can't layer the sounds on the piano itself. That's why the USB connectivity. The USB connectivity allows you to connect to the iPad or tablet, and to access and layer sounds from external apps that is on your iPad, right? So, for example, I have electronic synth sound here, and if I'm in the mood to play some electronic music, right? So what you're hearing is actually a synth sound with a piano sound. But I'm actually playing the piano. So what the piano does is it actually connects to the iPad, and it begins to layer the sound of the synth to the sound, the synthesizer sound in the Korg module app, right? But of course you can use other apps as well. For example, if you have an iPad, GarageBand is free, so go download it. It's got some very nice, beautiful sounds, right? And I choose this sound called the Hollywood Strings. I like this sound because it layers very well with a piano. Say if I want to play. Yeah, I'll adjust the volume a little bit. All right, so hang on. Sorry, I have to reconnect the GarageBand again. Okay. Ah, there you go. Piano with string. So even though by itself the B2SP does not actually layer sounds internally, you can use the USB connection to your iPad and use GarageBand or Korg module to actually layer sounds together. So there you go. There are so many possibilities. I can just show you some of the even more interesting sounds, like for example, wow, that's like out of this world sound, man. Oh wow, wow. And there's more, you know, like wow, amazing what this can do. And of course, by itself, it has more sounds than just piano. Or of course, you can choose other sounds to layer together with the sounds that, for example, I'll choose yeah, maybe electric piano. Wow, that's scary. um, pretty interesting sounds you can get from, you know, layering the internal sounds with for this instance it's the GarageBand sounds, right? Okay, and for your information, these are not the real hammer action keys like what you get on the C1 Air or G1 Air, right? This is not manufactured in Japan. The B2SP is manufactured in China. Well, because of the cost, right? So B2SP, there are three different models from the B2 series, right? B2SP is the one that comes with the stand and full three pedals. And the B2 is the same exact piano, the top part, but doesn't come with the stand. So if you already have a keyboard stand, you can use that, or if not, you can buy one from us. And it only comes with a single sustain pedal, right? But the rest, the touch, the sounds are still the same, identical. There's no change between B2SP and B2. But that's another model which is called the B2N. Okay, so the B2SP actually starts at ringgit 2,880. So it's a true bargain with USB connectivity, and even the sounds from your iPad actually comes into the speakers of the internal speakers of the B2. So you don't actually need to get another speakers for your iPad, or if the sound is coming from the iPad, it will be too soft compared to the built-in speakers of the piano. So Korg has incorporated the sound, the USB sound from your to enable the sound from your iPad to actually come out on the internal speakers of the B2, and that's actually quite a feat, right? And with that kind of functionality, it really opens up many doors, especially learning the piano and also to experiment with different sounds and layer with this piano. That really opens up the possibilities of this piano. And at 2,880 ringgit, I believe everyone can own one, and it is so affordable. But there are some who wants something more portable. They don't want the built-in stand. They want to bring it around, bring it to the church, bring it to the school, bring it everywhere where they want to perform. So they will buy the B2 instead. So the B2 comes at a lower cost, of course, without the stand and without the three pedals. Is only at ringgit 2,345. Yep. And there's one more. It's called the B2N. Okay. B2 and B2SP has that full-weighted natural touch keys, natural hammer touch keys, which the B2N doesn't have. The B2N has only the natural touch keys. So you might be asking, what's the difference between the B2N keys and the B2 and B2SP keys? Okay, for those who are not, sitting for exams and who are not too concerned about piano touch, they want something even much more simple and not so heavy. It's a very lightweight touch, and it does not have that hammer feel, right? So people who doesn't need that don't have to spend so much. So they can go for the B2N, which is the same like B2, doesn't come with stand, comes with only a single pedal, but the rest of the sounds, the USB connectivity is still there. So there's no change at all in that area. Only the keys are different, but it comes at a super amazing price, right? The B2N costs only ringgit 1,740 ringgit. Really unbelievable. I have to be honest, I haven't come across a digital piano of that price point at 1,740 to reach this level of quality and with USB connectivity, and you are able to also play back your tablet and iPad sounds back into the piano itself. So I actually have not come across something like that at that price point. So it is another true bargain, right? Okay, the next one I will go to is the Cork D1. Okay, Cork D1 is actually a little bit different from the rest of the pianos that I showed you just now. Korg D1 is actually a stage piano, for gigging musicians who doesn't want to break their arms and their their back, carrying an acoustic piano. They will settle for something like that, which is also very realistic sounding. And yeah, let's see how realistic it is. Yeah, it even so at this price, D1 Korg D1 is only at 2,000 ringgit, 2,825 ringgit. So at this price point, to get this level of sound, and this is also sampled from a 9-footer grand piano. pretty impressed, yeah, with the level of sound that you're getting at this price point, 2,000 ringgit, 825. You are actually getting a very, very realistic sound. And the best part is that at this price, you will not have another piano from Korg, a digital piano from Korg, having the real hammer action keys. Only the D1 has this. And the best part is the real hammer action keys, the RH3 keys, are actually Japanese made keys, right? But this piano is not made in Japan because this is a much lower cost digital piano, but this is not the home digital piano. This is like for stage use. So of course you have your beautiful sounds, piano sounds. You have wow, can you hear the stereo sound from left to right? Amazing. So, you know, when you play in a band, this is gonna sound really awesome. Your bandmate's gonna love you for that. When you play in a band and you play keyboards, play piano, you use this piano, they're gonna love you. Wow, FM piano, yeah, right, and yeah, that's another FM piano mixed with acoustic piano. And I also like oh yeah, I love this pad sound. Beautiful pads, yeah. And you can layer it with the piano. Wow. I never had so much fun those days when I was with a band. We were not so lucky then. We have to carry Fender Rhodes, you know. Well, I think that's one of the reason why I'm having my spinal problem. Yeah, back in the days, I used to lug around a Fender Rhodes for gigs. Yeah. And I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. So besides that, you also have different sounds from what you get from C1 Air and G1 Air. But like I said, this have a sound of its own, and this has the same engine. The sound engine is the same as our very famous Korg model. I'm sure many of you have heard of this model before. In fact, it is so hot selling, the LP380. It's been around for quite a while. But still, until today, it's one of the hottest selling model because of the very affordable price. It is only at 4,080 ringgit. 4,000, right, Azam? Yeah, 4,080 ringgit. Yeah. So at 4,080 ringgit, you get, in fact, that is the lowest price for any Korg digital pianos to be fully manufactured and imported from Japan. Yeah. And at only 4,080, you get a fully imported from Japan digital piano, and that one comes with the, of course, with the wooden stand and also 3 pedals. Unlike this one, there's only 1 pedal and there's no wooden stand. So because this is not meant for home lifestyle piano. This is basically more like a gigging pianist piano at a very affordable price. Yeah. And this engine, the sound engine, is the same and similar sound engine to the LP380. And LP380 is about 4080. So this, at this price point, D1 at 2,000 ringgit 825, it's a super awesome deal, you know. But of course, it doesn't come with built-in speakers, not like the LP380. Why? Because gigging musicians don't need that built-in speakers, because when you gig, you have your own monitor, keyboard monitor, amp, so you don't really need built-in speakers for stage pianos. So for those of you who will be wondering, how come I'm not talking about that very popular model, the LP380? Not that I don't want to talk about it, it's just that it's so hot selling. We sold out during our year-end sales last year. Every single piece is sold out. Yeah, it is. But the good news, if you're looking for one, our new shipment should be arriving in March or April. But I can't really promise yet, because due to the current pandemic situation, the worldwide, international shipping has taken its toll, and everything is further delayed, and sometimes the delay can be quite a while before we actually receive it. Yeah, but the sounds are basically the same sounds that you hear over here in the D1, because the sound engine is similar, right? But of course, the LP380 is fully manufactured in Japan, fully imported from Japan, whereas the D1 is not. So there is a difference there. And for those who are, who like to come over and try the C1 Air and G1 Air, please do get in touch with us, and we'll be more than happy to walk you through, and also we'll let you experience the whole experience of the Korg's range of digital pianos, and we have quite a number of models to try. So you can come over and test and see which is the most suitable model for you. So much for today, and I would like to sign off for this MCO Livestream volume 8. So I will see you again next week, and I'll be sharing more about arranger keyboards, and more about Korg's range of very nice arranger keyboards, where you can sound like a professional. Even if you're not professional, you can sound like a professional band all by yourself. So I hope and I look forward to see you again next Saturday. Okay, and tomorrow we're off, and Monday our CK Ipoh team will be having another live stream. So do come join us on Monday again, and we look forward to see you. So bye for now. We hope to see you soon after the MCO.